A massive thank you to Joe, Andre, De Doppler, Rolando, and FedHR for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone, and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back ready for round 10 of Season 2 of our F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday we're here ready for the Belgian Grand Prix, my favourite track on the Formula 1 calendar. Circuit Spa-Francorchamps. Absolutely love coming back to this place. If you missed out yesterday's video from Hungary, dramatic scenes at the end of the race there, of course. We've technically gone through the summer break and everything like that, but certainly worth going back and checking that video out. In terms, though, of upgrades as we head into this weekend, of course, we still have got a couple in the works. I don't know if there's any really more that we can go with at this stage of the year. We're really running low on future upgrades that we can put onto the car. It might have to be another durability upgrade. We could go with the wheel bearings, but they aren't going to add much to the car's performance. Yeah, we might have to go with another durability upgrade at this stage of the game, if we can even afford one. No, we cannot. So we won't worry about any more upgrades at the moment. We need to try and get through Robert Schwartzman's contract renegotiations as well, of course, over the next couple of race weekends. Make sure we got enough money in the bank so we can keep him on for the second half of the year. We'll wait and see what we want to do at the end of the season.
Without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Love to see that. So in terms of performance then, we're still sat pretty much with Ferrari there. Red Bull have actually lost out to Aston Martin and McLaren after the last couple of race weekends. Here, as you can see, we have still got a couple more upgrades in the works. You can see just how tightly bunched up, though, it is in the midfield battle there. Alpine's sort of a weird bit of nowhere at this stage of the game. Championship-wise, though, Hamilton still leads 64 ahead of Max Verstappen there, who's a 3 ahead of Charles Leclerc and Daniel Ricciardo as well. The title battles, there's a lot going on at this stage of the year. Let's head to the Belgian Grand Prix. So back then at the beautiful sunny Spa-Francorchamps, I say sunny. Based on the rest of the weekend, it might get quite wet, ready for qualifying and the race tomorrow, but we'll wait and see what we can do. Need to try and get the use of the car and the track once more. Oh, that's not the line through La Source. In terms of upgrades, though, for the second half of the year, I think we really do need to try and save some money ready for Season 3. Of course, try and get some prize money in, but then you run the fine balance if we really want to try and hold on ahead of Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship. So we need more money, which means we need more upgrades, but to get more upgrades we need more money. It's a very, very difficult thing to balance in F1 2021, and I'll be honest, I think the balance is probably the best we've had in any of the F1 games. How that wasn't green at the very least, I'll never know. But yeah, we'll have to just keep saving, obviously, once we've renewed Schwartzman's contract for the second half of the year. I think he's still a bargain for the performance we're getting out of him. But yeah, very, very difficult at the moment. We just need to keep farming R&D points in these free practice sessions and trying to meet all the sponsor objectives. Back end still gets very, very light through a Rouge with less fuel in the car, so fingers crossed when we get into the race we'll find a bit more consistency through there. You can see the missile still coming into its own down the end of the Kemmel Straight. They're a second up on the Delta. I'm sure throughout all the twisty bits that make up a big part of Spa, we're going to lose most of that. Surprisingly, we've done quite well on this first lap of the race simulation run there. Now 1.5 seconds up as we head up in towards the final couple of corners here, so fingers crossed this is a good sign for the rest of the weekend's pace, but you never quite know what to expect here. Now we're definitely getting into the swing of things here at Spa-Francorchamps. Each of our race simulation runs, as long as we don't do anything silly, is going to end up being almost 2 seconds up on the expected time from the team there, so definitely going to go into qualifying with bags of confidence in the car as well there. Luckily, of course, most of the engine components pretty new as well. 2.2 up as we head out the final corner.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
You love to see it. Let's dive into qualifying then here for the Belgian Grand Prix. So our second wet qualifying session then in the last 3 Grand Prix. Of course, Silverstone had a little bit of rain, drizzle in Q2 there. Hasn't often served us too well on F1 2021 so far. The AI seem to be very, very strong in the rain. I don't know if it's just due to the nature of our car as well, being very slippery down the straights, and unfortunately means when it's slippery through the corners we tend to struggle. But we'll try and ease our way into a couple of laps here, see what we can get out of the car, try and set some good bankers, and then hopefully improve. A couple of big oversteer moments already as we head around this lap, still though topping up into 8th gear before the corners of Pouon. Lucky to get away with so much curb usage that time around there, as you're just so late on full throttle on the X there, because you're worried the back end is just going to try and step out on you there. You're just running so much 50-75% throttle around a lot of this lap as we head now down in towards Sector 3 there. Max Verstappen set a good benchmark on 150.7. Through Stavolo though on the exit. This is where the car does come alive through this final sector of the lap, sectors 1 and 3 of course. Let's just see what we can muster up there. If we can be within sort of a second and a half of Max, that'd be rather good. As we get up in towards what used to be the bus stop chicane. Oh, big lock up on the way in there as Ricciardo goes fastest on a 49.7 now. So clearly times are improving. We are only going to manage a 52. So a long way off where we wanted to be there. And I think the track's just getting better and better at the moment. But as we head back out then for our second Q1 run, currently down in the drop zone there, as you can just, you guys can't feel it, but completely locking the rears on the way through the final corner here. We are still sort of just sat with the back markers. There's another big wobble at the final corner. That's going to cost us a bit as we head down towards turn 1. That'll be nice and tidy on the brakes. Oh, a lot of understeer though on the exit. Try and just roll on the power as we head at the first couple of corners here. We need about a second if we want to try and put ourselves towards safety here in Q1. It's a big kick of understeer for a Rouge. We do get the power down over Radion though. Just about kept it on the curbing there. Don't think that would worry anyone too much. As we head down the end of the Camel Straight here, losing so much time through our Rouge because the AI just seemed to have so much grip through there. But then as we head down through the twisty bits all over the curbing, right up to the gravel trap on the exit, and this lap is just getting slower and slower at the moment. Making all sorts of mistakes, so I think the track might just be getting a bit too damp. Finding a bit of time at Anone, so you head down in towards Pouon once more. Very much feels like, yeah, the car's with you one corner and then against you the next. As now somehow we found a couple of tenths. So we head towards the bottom of the hill once more. Really trying to get the front end rotated through, get on the power nice and early. Taking all the risks at this stage of the lap. That was a nice run. That was nice and tidy on the exit there. Scrubbing off a tiny bit of speed as we head back up in towards Blanchemont. So far, yeah, this second run has been much better than the first. 4 tenths up, completely flat through Blanchemont. Well, how on earth we didn't rip off a wheel there, I will never know. But now, yeah, it's all going to come down to our final run. Just still trying to work out whether the rain's getting worse and worse as we get ready for our final run in Q1. This is how seriously I'm now taking it. So we try and open ourselves up and a really nice run out of the final corner. We need to just find a couple more tenths to be quicker than Esteban Ocon and potentially promote ourselves out of the drop zone there. Very late on the brakes through turn 1, but hopefully it allows us to get on the power a lot earlier, which it has. Half tenth up as we head down in towards Eau Rouge for the final time here. People, though, are improving. Latifi's just gone faster. A lot of curb on the way in, a lot of curb on the way out as well, but we are going to, again, just find a little bit more time as we head up the Camel Straight there. That'll drag us along right the way up this straightaway here. Haas have almost gone quicker than us as well, so we're definitely still
slower than your
not doing
teammate.
well.
Your teammate is faster.
I'm well aware Robert's faster than us at the moment, but the track is not getting much quicker at all, if any. Really just got to be brave, got to be committed, got to put it all on the line. Otherwise we are out in Q1 here. Bit of a lock-up as we head down the hill. As we head back through No Name. Obviously found a lot of time last time around through there, and we've done it again. 3 tenths up now. As we head in towards Pouon. Try and run wide on the exit there, or using up all the available curbing. Half a second up as we head in towards Sector 3. Don't do anything stupid again. Don't bin it through Blanchemont. Through the chicane, that was pretty good. 7 tenths up. I think track's starting to come back to us just a little bit right at the end. You love to see it. Either that or we're just getting more and more confident in the car there. 9 tenths up as we head out of the final couple of corners here, back up towards the start-finish line. Is this going to be
There's 2
enough?
minutes left in this session and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap, or that's qualifying over for us.
Blend of throttle that time around. They're not brave enough to take it fully pinned once more. Slam on the anchors at the 100, pretty much braking at the same point as we would in the dry. But through the final chicane there, we've thrown away a little bit of time on entry, but we've gained a load on the exit. Up towards the line, it's going to be a second improvement. P13, thank goodness for that. We put everything on the line on that final run there, and still only a 10th quicker than our teammate Robert Schwartzman there. But happy to finally get both cars through into Q2 for the first time in I think 4 Grand Prix. It was the Haas, the Williams and the Alphas out in Q1 this time round there. And yeah, nice to have just a little bit of safety this weekend there. George Russell, only another 10th faster than myself. Let's dive into Q2. So because we had to do all those runs in Q1, we're going to have to go out on an old worn set of tyres here in Q2. Fingers crossed that we can still find some time there as our teammate all over the back of us trying to finish off his first run. Schwartzman currently down in P15 there. I don't think either of us are going to make it through into Q3 unless we absolutely nail this lap. Track conditions exactly the same as they were in Q1, so the rain just a constant at this stage of the session there. Luckily we therefore know how much we can attack, how brave we can be through a lot of the corners as well. But let's just wait and see then. Through Rouge and riding on, using 7th gear that time around, gives us a little bit more kick out of the corner. I think that actually worked rather well as we head up the Camel Straight once more here. What are we going to be able to do? What's the first split time going to be? Actually, pretty decent, so I wish we'd discovered that in Q1. Perhaps we would have had to go for so many runs there, but that's not the line we needed. Took a lot of curb there, and that's completely off-put us through the rest of the complex. May as well just finish this lap, but if we're any higher than P16, it'll probably be a miracle now. Out of Stavolo, we're 8 tenths down on Fernando Alonso at the moment. Not too sure how bunched up our bottom group of cars are. There's got yellow flags out. One of the Alpines has got issues, so they're not going to be improving. But we cannot afford to give up just yet. They're alright. We can't do anything. Whoa! Ocon, I didn't expect it to be that slow there, and that's probably going to be a warning from the FIA for crashing under yellow flags, but that's our qualifying done and dusted. Then nothing we can do there. Not too sure what's happened, whether it's that Alpine or the other one. But yeah, that is just out in Q2 for the Belgian Grand Prix in a very anticlimactic way to go out in the end. Yeah, so not quite what we wanted there at the end of the session, but Ocon actually picked up a 5-place grid penalty for that, so I guess we moved ahead of him at the end of the session there. We would have been quite close with our teammate Robert Schwartzman, I think, at the end of Q2 there, but Red Bull, Pierre Gasly going out there, but Pierre Gasly making it through. Sergio Perez, though, going out in Q2 for the Belgian Grand Prix. Surely Gasly's got to be getting that phone call sooner rather than later there, but no other major surprises by the looks of it. You got your typical Big Four, obviously the Red Bull of Verstappen as well there. Let's dive in to the Belgian Grand Prix.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes Forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners, and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high-quality racing as well. Simply put it, there really is no place quite like Spa. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Verstappen, Gasly, Russell and Lance Stroll, Perez, Fernando Alonso, and Guan Yu Zhou and Schwartzman. Mr. Monaco, Bottas, Antonio Giovinazzi and Esteban Ocon. They've taken a grid penalty. Lundgaard, Latifi, Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Right, well, here we are then, on the grid, ready for the Belgian Grand Prix. And look at that weather. Clear skies, cloudy, a bit of rain, and then back to cloudy towards the end. This one could be a very, very spicy race here today. We might get some dry tyres, wet track. Who knows? Looking forward to it, though, here for the Belgian GP. I reckon soft mediums are the way to go. We're going to flip that on its head and go medium soft, just in case. Just in case we can make it to the wet period on that set of medium compound tyres here. But we'd love some points this weekend. I think Schwartzman and I both got a better car in the rain than in the... in the dry than in the rain, even, I should say. So let's get into it, then. Round 10 of the year. We're at the halfway stage. Let's dive into the Belgian Grand Prix. Waiting on those 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go. Trying to be really careful on the throttle off the start there, and we have got away with it okay. As we head down towards turn 1. Thought Schwartzman might try and cut across us there. We've had a good little start, actually, through turn 1. A bit of contact with Fernando Alonso there, who tried to run into my wheel. Give me a puncture, perhaps, off the start of this Grand Prix, but we have made up the one spot on our teammate. Down through our Rouge and Radion for the first time. They're actually clipping the inside curb. Don't want to do that all too often in this race. Schwartzman now might get a bit of a run on the exit of the corner here. You can see all the back marker cars of others. Look at Schwartzman. He is going to get a bit of a look up the end of the camel straight there, but thinks better of it. Backs out of a battle with his teammate that could cost us to the cars in front there. As no, actually, he has a look round the outside on the exit of the corner there. Look at that, Alonso and Guan Yu Zhou side by side as we head down the hill there. Now Schwartzman's going to have a look as I run very, very deep through the corner there, and Alonso's pulled it off. Up the inside he goes. We're going to have to hang Schwartzman out to dry. There was Lundgaard trying to get involved as well there, our former teammate. Maybe he wants to drive again with us, but definitely not happening. But yeah, oh, look at that Lundgaard, though. Very, very feisty in at that Alfa Romeo as we come towards the bottom of the hill. Need to try and settle down and to find some rhythm. Don't want to lose too much to the guys in front, despite being on the harder rubber. If you look at the mini-map, the gap Hamilton's got by the end of lap 1.
Track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Not too sure what that's about. Yeah, but Hamilton's already got like a 3-second lead at the end of that one then. No idea how he's finessed that over both of the McLarens, but he's instantly trying to get himself out of DRS range. As we're now a bit closer. Oh, look at that. Very, very close to Guan Yu Zhou. Apologies there to the Chinese driver. We mugged him off with a great dive last weekend. That time round, I was just trying to avoid him. And Lundgaard again has followed us past.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
DRS now been enabled then in this Belgian Grand Prix, but we're nowhere near it on Fernando Alonso there, and Lundgaard behind is certainly within range. No idea why the clouds are moving around so much in the sky as well. I'm trying to use them to judge if it's going to get wet enough, or when it's even going to rain, sorry. But when they're moving like that, it's just making me feel a bit spacey, I'll be honest, at this place of the Grand Prix. Guys in front, though, pulling that a second a lap at the moment. Combination of just a massive DRS train and, of course, being on softer rubber as well. It's not helping our case at the moment.
Lost some time to the car behind.
Don't think anyone should ever have to say that when they got Christian Lundgaard behind you.
Caution, caution.
Oh, we got yellow flags out. Is that Perez retiring from the Grand Prix, or has he just span it? I think Perez has binned it. What's happened there? Let's ride on board then with Checo as we head down in towards P1. Has he clipped the inside curb and just rotated it? No, the back end's gone round on him on the way in there. So very, very strange from Sergio Perez, and fair play to him to holding on to it. Does though mean we should be able to get round the Mexican here as we head down towards the bottom of P1. There we go.
Nice
around
move.
the outside.
Good job.
I mean, it wasn't that great a move as the curbs then tried to kill us on the very next corner. But we might have to try and use Perez here to drag us back up to these guys. I said it last weekend about Carlos Sainz. We might need to let him pass so we can drag us along a bit. But fingers crossed this time around, Sergio can do a bit more for us as we head up the Camel Straight. We'll let him go by. And now we've got to try and... Oh, why go defensive on us? Just get on with it. Take us to Alonso. More yellow flags. Oh, that's Hamilton. What's Lewis done? Has he binned it, or is that an engine? So Hamilton then, I mean, he's all by himself at this stage of the Grand Prix. He's been dominant out front early on here in Belgium. Has he dropped it like Perez did? Yes, he has, exactly the same way as Sergio Perez has done there. And again, just about keeps out of the wall. Steady on with the rejoin there, Lewis. But that's given McLaren a 1-2 out of nowhere. Let's see where the stricken Mercedes is then. Has he been able to get it back on the road? No, what's happened to Tsunoda? Tsunoda's dropped it as well. What is going on through Pouon? There seems like all sorts of trouble going on through Pouon there. Looks like Max Verstappen has fallen back towards our clutches as well here. We've got a couple of guys into the pits. So everyone clearly not too sure what's going on at this stage of the day there. I think those guys are in for their expected stops. Schwartzman in behind us as well.
Robert in the pits.
So we are up inside the top 10 of this Belgian Grand Prix. Up into 10th place, but yeah, carnage early on. Load more cars into the pit lane here. I think this is where our mediums are starting to come into it as Verstappen dives it in. We're not really gaining much by being sat behind Checo at this stage of the Grand Prix. It is going to be now Lando Norris who leads the race. Could he be on for his second race victory in just 3 Grand Prix here? A nice way to start a good little championship hunt perhaps for him. But Daniel Ricciardo has come out right behind us. So yeah, we were pretty much a pit stop behind the leaders.
21.8 seconds.
Big wobble through a Rouge as well there, but we need to try and get past Checo this time round. Don't want to be stuck behind him through the middle sector. Sergio goes defensive to the outside. That should be a fairly simple done deal there, almost 220 miles an hour.
Front is 7.3 seconds.
I'll see you in a bit, Sergio, but I think Ricciardo will be the one trying to get past us soon.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
That's the message we want to hear. Rain in 10 to 15 minutes. We've got to try and hang on a few more laps. We did have, yeah, Lando Norris, George Russell and myself 1, 2, 3 in this Grand Prix, so not a bad day out so far for some of the Brits. I'm sure Lewis Hamilton views it very differently. But Lando and George, into the pit lane as we head out the final corner. Ricciardo now going to be applying a lot of pressure to us. Is Ricciardo in the net lead?
That's P2 now.
I mean, we might be in the net lead of this Grand Prix if the rain does come. Where is Lando Norris? There he is, so Ricciardo P2. Surely, yeah, he's going to fly past us very, very soon as well. And here comes Daniel Ricciardo then. Not going to put up much of a fight. Not really battling these guys at the moment. McLaren have had a great resurgence of form over the last couple of years. And Ricciardo now leads. He's already won a race, of course, for McLaren back last season at Canada. Could be on for another one here today at another high-speed track. And Lando Norris going to look past us as well as we head down the hill. Very, very big dive from Lando, but McLaren don't want to leave anything to chance. There's 2 things I'm really hoping for in this Grand Prix, I'll be honest. Either the rain comes down just as we need to pit and we go straight into inters, or we pit onto softs, the rain doesn't get bad enough and we make masses of time up on fresher, quicker rubber through it. Really don't know which it could be. It probably won't be either. Team want us in at the end of this lap then, I'll be honest. Hamilton's been taking time over me hand over fist. Charles Leclerc, though, the gap's basically stayed the same over these last few laps. That's a lot of curb through a Rouge and Radion. But yeah, the McLarens in front, though, have battled it out over the lead. But it seems like Norris has got the upper hand at the moment. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Hamilton, I think he's done it again. Riding on board with Hamilton, I think, yeah, heading in towards Pouon. Once again, the back end's just looped round on him. What on earth is going on to the Mercedes this weekend there? And how on earth has he held on to his position as well there? Here comes Charles Leclerc. Completely off throttle there, tries to have a look past him, but Hamilton defending, and Carlos Sainz trying to get a look in. Right, into the pits we come though at the end of lap 13. I pray now we get some good soft tyres that can drag us nicely to the end of this race.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
I'm not sure we'll get the rain by the end of this Grand Prix. There's only about 16, 17 minutes of running, so even if we do, it shouldn't be too bad. There is, look at the gap between the top runners and the rest of sort of like the midfield backmarker cars there. You got both Red Bulls into 11th and 10th and 11th now, so we're going to be trying to close up to. 2.1 is pretty decent, but Schwartzman, yeah, is causing a train at this stage of the Grand Prix in P13.
Through to the end now.
Didn't expect us to be battling Red Bulls for points today, and not too big a fan of our chances, but we'll give it our best shot. 7 to go here from Spa. We're definitely closing in on Sergio Perez now at this stage of the Grand Prix, making up so much time down the straightaways. Hopefully we can get some DRS on him now as we attack the curbs through the final couple of corners and try and push ourselves one step closer to the top 10. New fastest lap of the Grand Prix out of nowhere, 41.1. I'll take that happily.
Caution, caution.
Oh, don't say Hamilton's done it again. Hamilton, the 3rd time in this Grand Prix, has managed to bin it through Pouon. I've almost now done it as well. As Hamilton actually comes together with Perez. There's carnage. We got Ferrari's out.
Safety car due to multiple cars being stopped on track. Mind your delta.
Holy moly. So piecing it together then, Charles Leclerc, I'm guessing, hits Hamilton, rejoins, and Sainz gets absolutely destroyed by his teammate there. So dramatic contact between both Ferraris, but that's brought us up into the points for the safety car. So carnage there as Hamilton bins it through Pouon for the third time in this race there. But I mean, Hamilton's got 10 seconds worth of penalties. Charles Leclerc and Perez have got 5 apiece as well. So Schwartzman could be on for his second points of the year here if things go to plan. Are all the AI though going to pit in again with just a few to go in this Grand Prix? Is it worth doing so? The McLarens are miles out in front still. Are we going to see a lot of other cars into the pit lane? No, we're not, so that's good for us. Means that we've still got much fresher, quicker rubber as we almost lose it. Charles Leclerc, of course, has had to pit in this Grand Prix. He'll serve his penalty then under safety car. Not too sure how you can still do that on F1, but hey-ho. But yeah, this means now we get a couple of laps to save the tyres and then still attack towards the end. How on earth that was a penalty for Perez, I will never know unless he got done for overtaking someone under yellow flags. All seem very strange. We got more carnage. Mazepin's out under safety car. So has another Ferrari power unit gone up in smoke? Let's just wait and see. No. He's walloped to Williams under safety car. What's happened? So Bottas has got issues again then in the Williams. Oh, his power unit's blown up. And Mazepin's just rammed into him under safety car. So Bottas again, reliability woes. What has happened to Williams over the last few Grand Prix? But this is just ridiculous. Well, safety car in then, we just 4 to go here for the Belgian Grand Prix, and the rain is still meant to be arriving at some point. Is this the start of Hamilton's season coming undone? A disappointment in Hungary last time out, and now here in Belgium it looks highly unlikely he's going to score any points either. But getting ready to go green though, we've got much fresher, quicker rubber still than everyone in front of us. Surely the question now is how many positions can we gain? McLaren still 1-2 as we head out of the final couple of quarters. We've got an Aston Martin in P3. Not too sure which one that one is. But at the final corner, big kick of wheel spin. But it is green flag racing. Not sure whether it's worth trying to keep Hamilton at bay or not at this stage of the Grand Prix. I don't think he's going to be able to make much progress if he does get past us. On the other hand, if we let him through, he might bin it through Pouon again and take us with him. We'll wait and see, but definitely feel at the very least we should be getting past the Red Bulls. Perez, of course, with a penalty anyway. So that's not too bad if we don't get him. But yeah, can't help but feel we could get a bit more here. Oh, there's the rain as well. At the end of lap 19, so 3 to go, and now the rain just starting to pour just a little bit. Surely this is going to give us a bigger advantage. Come on then, Perez, let's see what top-end speed you got in that Red Bull. No DRS just yet in this race, we might even get any. Depending on how bad the rain does become, but we're not gaining enough down the Kemmel Straight this time round. I'll have to sit behind for now, but yeah, fingers crossed, all these guys start really struggling on their medium tyres there. You just can't keep any temperature in the harder rubber when the rain starts to pour. And this should surely here give us a mighty, mighty advantage.
Some information on Schwartzman. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Oh, come on, no. Not with just 2 laps to go here and the good chance of more points for our teammate. Don't say he's got issues. Please, don't let them be big ones if they are. I'd love to see him get some more points on the board after what has been such a difficult first half of the season.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
Alright, DRS has now been enabled with just 2 to go here from Belgium. Now, surely we can have a look past Sergio. If we get a run through a route here, got to keep it nice and tidy. Just a small blend on the throttle on the way through there, but that's been a good old run. So we head up the Kemmel Straight, DRS activated. Surely we're going to be making good gains on the Red Bull. Getting closer and closer. We're going to have to completely drain the battery and maybe have to have a bit of a send. Oh, we've just about hung on there on the curbing. Perez comes back at us though on the exit of the corner there, and we've tangled with the Red Bull. Sergio Perez into the wall. Oh, not too sure how I feel about that one. Let me know down in the comments below. But Perez out. And I didn't think, to be honest, that he had much say in there, but he tried to hold up the inside. We gave him a bit of a squeeze. Felt like we giving him enough room. But Perez out.
Just be careful.
1 lap to go then. Oh, we've got more yellows. Someone else has made a mistake. I think it's the AlphaTauri of Guan Yu Zhou here, who is looking like he might be in a points-paying position come the end of this Grand Prix. I think the AI start to struggle in these conditions there as well. Guan Yu Zhou, has he had a power unit failure? I think he has.
This is your final lap. Final lap of the race. We're leading our teammate by 7.8 seconds.
Yep, Guan Yu Zhou out of the Grand Prix with just one to go here, but all this drama has meant Christian Lundgaard for Alfa Romeo might be on for his very first Formula 1 point. The track is still getting wetter and wetter here. Definitely nowhere near close enough for intermediates, and I don't think we're gaining as big an advantage as I'd hoped we would have. But Hamilton still with his 10 seconds worth of penalties isn't a threat if he does get past us on this final lap there, but he just doesn't have the top end speed in that Merc anymore. Can we get close enough to anyone else? But yeah, Spa as always has delivered a lot of chaos here. 5 retirements and plenty more mistakes, damage and carnage. While heading in through the final couple of corners then, unfortunately, yeah, these wet conditions haven't quite played into our hands as much as I was hoping they would have, but just gutted for Schwartzman again, man. So many issues so far this year, but it does look like we are going to break the little duct we've had over the last couple of Grand Prix. McLaren, though, look like they're going to bag a 1-2 here. Aston Martin 3 and 4 as well. It's a great day for some of the higher-up midfield runners, and their hard work proving to be paying off at this stage of the campaign there. McLaren might be a threat for the championship come the end of the year there, but at the final corner, it's P8 for ourselves. We'll take it.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
What a great race then, and what a magnificent victory here at the Belgium Grand Prix. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Christian Lundgaard gets my vote today.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula 1.
Well, as always then, Spa has delivered the carnage once more. Lando Norris, 2-time race winner now in just 3 Grand Prix. He is on a tear at this stage of the year there, but he does come through half a second clear of his teammate Daniel Ricciardo at the end of the Grand Prix there. Aston Martin, like we said, 3rd and 4th as well there. Pierre Gasly 5th, Alonso 6th. It has been a massive day for some of the guys that don't often get a time to shine right at the front of the field there. Verstappen comes through 7th, we come through with 8th with the fastest lap bonus point for the first time in our career there, just over a 10th ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, so rather happy with that one. Lundgaard gets his first career points in 9th ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who, because of the eggery with Guan Yu Zhou holding everyone up towards the end there, means, yeah, he was still able to score ahead of his teammate Guan Yu Zhou there, but 1 point for Mercedes this weekend. What a disappointment that has been, and like I said, maybe McLaren are going to be threats towards the end of the year there. Charles Leclerc just misses out as well, down in 12th ahead of our teammate Schwartzman, who, yeah, robbed right at the end of the Grand Prix there. When is he going to get some luck in this series there? You can see further down though, Guan Yu Zhou and Perez both classified but 2 laps down. Esteban Ocon with a 5-second penalty as well finishes down in P17. Then we've got Bottas, Mazepin and Carlos Sainz all not making it to the flag as well. They're 5 DNFs at the end of the day there. Title-wise though, no movements for us there. Ricciardo and Norris get the jump on Verstappen and Leclerc though. 50 points now the gap has come down to at the top of your standings. Alonso gets the jump on Perez, who's still 13th, 22 points after 10 races this year, is woeful by Sergio Perez there. Like we said, Lundgaard gets his first career points, and down jumps Ocon, Giovinazzi and Bottas. Constructors-wise as well, Alfa Romeo now solidify themselves in 9th place, but the gap at the top in the Constructors, 20 points between McLaren and Mercedes there. That is certainly going to be a battle to watch out for later on this year. Could we see Mercedes try and do some dodgy work? Maybe sign Lando Norris, for example, away from McLaren. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon. For round 11 of the year, we head to Zandvoort. None of these videos would be possible without the support of our channel members. So a massive thank you to The Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David Bennett, Ben Meekins, and Aiden C97 for becoming channel members. If you want to be featured in these little clips, click the join button down below.